Welcome to my American History Notes. I'm going to be discussing some things I've learned about American history, things I want to share with you. And I hope that you'll be interested in something, maybe a name or something I mentioned, and we'll dig deeper and learn a lot more than I've learned. So I just want to get started here. We're still in art and architecture and music and motion pictures and things like that, plays, theater. So the long running, that's 2,327 performances. Abby's Irish Rose by playwright Ann Nichols, highlighting interfaith marriage, begins in 1922. That's 100 years ago. In that same year, playwright Eugene O'Neill's play, The Hairy Ape, stressing class conflict, is produced. He will write two controversial plays, All God's Chillun Got Wings and Desire Under the Elms, in 1924. He will follow these up with The Great God Brown in 1926. Cecil B. DeMille's silent screen version of the Ten Commandments is released in 1923, as is comedian Harold Lloyd's Why Worry and Alan Dwan's Robin Hood. In the same year, the Eastman Kodak Company introduced a 16 millimeter film for amateur use that becomes popular for student, industrial, and educational films. A Department of Drama is established at Yale in 1924. After a separate graduate school is created in 1955, it becomes known as America's Best Theater Training Center. 1924's notable films are John Ford's Iron Horse and Raoul Walsh's The Thief of Baghdad, starring Douglas Fairbanks. David Sarnoff founds NBC, the national broadcasting company, in 1926. The first talking movie, called a talkie, premieres in 1927 and is entitled The Jazz Singer. The silent era is now over. In that same year, television is first demonstrated in America by AT&T executive Walter Gifford as he broadcast images of then Secretary of Commerce Herbert Hoover from Washington to New York. WGY in Schenectady, New York, makes the first television broadcast in history. What at least one preacher will call, quote, the glass toilet, and secular writers will call, quote, a vast wasteland, officially sees its start. In 1928, Walt Disney's first Mickey Mouse cartoons are produced. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, founded in 1927, has its first Academy Awards presentation in 1929. The acting profession will now take its cue from the literary profession and spend the next nearly 80 years patting itself on the back with endless awards and pretentious hype about an industry that is founded for one reason: to promote sin in all its various forms. Actors and music celebrities will become the most notorious, amoral scoundrels in American history. Vaudeville, an early type of live stage entertainment, begins to die out from competition with movies. In the 1930s, photojournalists working for rags like Time and Life record world events with new handheld cameras. Robert Capa's famous photograph of the Spanish Civil War, Death of a Loyalist Soldier, his photos of D-Day are some of those. He will be killed by a mine in Vietnam in 1954. Radio comedies enjoy immense popularity and include The Jack Benny Show, Fibber McGee and Molly, and The Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy Show. 115 million Americans attend movies each week. Because of the bad reputation of the film industry and its Hollywood Babylon, the Motion Picture Production Code is developed by the Motion Picture Producers and Distributors of America. The rules regulating on-screen morality are called the Hays Code, after Will Hays, head of the MPPDA. If you want to see how foul movies were getting before the Hays Code, there's a Barbara Stanwyck movie you'll want to take a look at. In any event, Olympic swimming champion Johnny Weissmuller begins portraying Tarzan in a series of movies starting in 1932. Mervyn Leroy's I Am a Fugitive from a Chain Gang is big in the same year. That same year, Polaroid film is developed by Edward Herbert Land. Now we're going to talk about architecture, like Louis Henry Sullivan and Frank Lloyd Wright. We're talking about literature, and we'll be talking about, things like art, music, dance, things like that. So next, coming up, a lot of things, a lot of people that should not be forgotten, that we should remember and we should know about. And I hope that you'll study American history, and I look forward to talking to you again.